What's up, everybody? This is Grumpy Old Bear here. Today we're talking about Raid Shadow Legends. Download it for free today. Today we're gonna go over some tools and stuff like that, and some tips and information for early accounts and what you should be focusing on, and kind of what you should be gearing towards and moving towards early game. So this is my son's account, GLBear711, Grumpy Little Bear. So we have been he has been playing on and off for about a year, mostly off, sometimes on. He seems to struggle with gearing, stuff like that, and so we're gonna help him out. And I'm gonna show you a powerful tool that I think is great for anybody to use, especially when you're mostly free to play, and you are either completely free to play or mostly free to play, or kind of like myself, a low spender, that kind of deal. you know uh, $10 a month for the gem packs, or maybe a small energy pack here and there to help you get through some events, that kind of deal. Whatever it may be. All right. So first thing I want to talk about is gearing. Now, we only have in this account 220 pieces of gear that has been farmed. So we're not working with a whole lot here. So one of the things we're going to do is to try to fix that. So I've gone through and got rid of most of the junk already. And what I mean by junk is if you do a filter and you click the bottom three, right? And you click on flat stats, flat HP, flat attack, flat defense. You can see there's nothing in here that's unused. Okay. But if you look at equipped, we see several pieces of gear that are flat stat based. Okay. Now, early game, you're kind of using what you have, and that's perfectly fine. Nothing wrong with that at all. I just wouldn't put too much resources into flat stats. So, someone I saw in there was High Katoon, right? Now, his High Katoon's all in speed gear, which is great. She's got a 5-star speed boot on, which is fantastic. But part of this problem, uh, now the speed gear gives you the bonus set based off her base speed, right? So when you look at it, it's just speed plus 12%. Well, that 12% is coming from this, okay? So it's good to put her all in speed set. The problem with most of this gear is that, obviously this is out of 4, so we don't know what's going to get, like at 12 or something like that. But no speed there is a substat. No speed here is a substat. No speed here is a substat. No speed here is a substat, and no speed here is a substat. So with Haikatoon, you want to make her, kind of tanky, but you want to make her fast as you can. So that's one thing that needs to be corrected. Even though you see, 5-star gear and certain pieces or whatever. Now this is what I'm talking about when it comes to flat stats and why they're junk. So even though you see a flat stat and you're like, oh man, but these, not these are great, but if you happen to see like, crit rate, speed, whatever on these gauntlets, you're like, oh man, these are good. Not really. If you look at something like this and you see its defense at 12, 5-star, 143, right? Then you look at this uncommon piece, or this common piece, sorry, and it's an 8. Watch her defense. It goes up by 52 at 8 because it's based off percentages. What that also means is you put that gauntlet on and it gives you plus 52%. You take it to 12, it's going to give you more. The other thing about it is her defense is going to go up. She's only at 45, 5-star ascended. So if you look at the index, and we've taken Haikatoon, who's here, her base defense is 1,189. So her base defense is going to add another 300 defense easy to what she is right now on my son's account, and that's also going to scale up that percentage. So even though you max the gear out and you are what you are, whatever level you are, once you get them to 60 and 6-star ascended, because it's based off of a percentage, it's going to go up even more so. So that's something to think about, guys, when you're looking at gearing people. Some things to also focus on is who's my debuffers and do they need accuracy, right? So we got Kyle with 61 accuracy. Well, if you know and you pick Kyle as your starter champion, Well, Kyle has a great skill. His A1 puts poison on. His A3, poison. What's poison good for? Pretty much any boss in the game. Um, Clan boss especially. So you do need accuracy to land that. Okay. We're hoping for a accuracy banner. We haven't gotten the jewelry we need from Dark Elves, but we're working on it. So that's another thing to think about. Who are my debuffers and do they need accuracy? Someone like Cold Heart, right? Now, Cold Heart has plenty of accuracy, and the reason being is for this, to drop the turn meter. Cold Heart is meant for dungeons, even though they're changing that with 21 through 25. They're taking away this skill basically, but still from 1 through 20, this skill is a damage dealer, and it affects the bosses, pretty much all dungeon bosses except for the dragon. So if you're just farming dragon and you don't care about accuracy, you don't need accuracy for this. But if you're doing anything else in the game with Cold Heart, you need accuracy for this turn meter to drop. So we got perception set and crit rate, trying to get that, magical or mythical, 70% crit rate there, and hopefully eventually get that crit damage up. This is very early on, so that's what we're working with. Okay, so and then we're going to talk about Duchess, right? What does Duchess need? This is his first Lego he pulled a couple weeks ago during those events that were going on, and we got her to 50, 3-star ascended. It's extremely hard to ascend a Lego when you're just doing what the game gives you, or if you're not playing all day, that kind of deal. So with Duchess, you don't need accuracy. None of her skills need accuracy, right? She puts a shield on her people when she hits. She puts block debuffs, increase attack, and perfect veil. She does a revive and veil and heal, and decrease the damage taken by all allies from AoE attacks by 25% and 15% for bosses. So having Duchess really can help you be a tankier team and not take as much damage, etc. But you saw in her kit, she doesn't need any accuracy whatsoever. So how do we build her then? Well, we went with defense percent on the gauntlet. We got a speed roll, resistance on the chest piece for arena mostly, speed on the boots, speed, HP percent, resistance, defense percent, HP resistance, crit damage. She didn't do a whole lot of damage, so it's not really important. But getting her defense up with defense percent, see that? Getting her defense up, getting her resistance up early on, especially for the arena, is going to make her that much more effective because she won't be getting debuffed, and she'll be able to revive your team, or be putting that veil on and increase attack on, that kind of stuff like that more often. So that's one example of not needing accuracy on a champion. We got Jarek also, who's a tanky player, a tanky champion. What does Jarek do? He has a great passive that if you take 20% damage or your max HP in one hit, he puts a 15% continuous heal buff on your team. Great for clan boss, great for dungeons, great for PvP. Jarek I think is a great champion that is undervalued, especially as a tank. He places a 50% ally protection and an increased defense buff on all allies for 2 turns. He also adds decreased attack, so great for clan boss. Now, even when you book it out, it starts with 35% chance. You see that 35, 40, 50, 60% chance to land this decreased attack. So it's not he's not a 100% guaranteed decreased attacker, but he does place it quite often. But what does he need to do that? Well, he needs accuracy, right? So we got him a perception, defense percent chest piece to keep him alive and keep him tanky. We went with the resilience set, HP percent plus 10% and defense plus 10%. So speed, perception, for accuracy and speed, and then HP percent and defense percent on the resilience set there. We finally got a piece of jewelry for the amulet, HP and attack. We got a couple good rings here, but they're both attack, and we need Jarek to be tanky, so we went with defense instead. So that's kind of what we're working with here. Seer, we got her in. He has her in that Relentless set, which is which is okay, but stats would mean more for her than the set. So sometimes when you see a set and you kind of, drilling out the mouth, oh, I can't wait to use this on somebody. You see somebody that has, already based in their skill set an extra turn. Well, they nerfed Relentless not too long ago with Rotos for this reason. So Relentless doesn't proc on this, won't proc on this thing right here, but it has a chance to proc here and a chance to proc here. So Relentless set is okay for Seer, but you want her, again, you want her fast, you want her accurate, you want her crit rate, crit damage up, that kind of deal. So, we've got attack percent on the chest piece, which is good, with a double roll to crit damage, crit rate on the gauntlets, speed boots. We got the shield. It doesn't really have anything for her except for accuracy, so luckily we got that. The helmet, double roll to attack percent, which is nice. Not really anything else going on here. Attack, obviously it's a weapon, but double roll to accuracy, so that's nice. But you can see her accuracy is still suffering at 47. So important things to note for early game account is, do they need accuracy? If so, try to find it, an accuracy chest plate. But then look for your substats to mirror what you need for your person to do damage, that kind of deal. Like I said, like a cold heart. Like, would I like attack percent instead? Sure. But we need her accuracy to drop that turn meter, whether it's facing somebody in the arena, whether it's facing wave content in dungeons, or the bosses that you can reduce that turn meter. She needs that accuracy to land it. Is accuracy more important than the damage? It's up to you and up to your composition. But in my mind, the turn meter is more important because that keeps your team cranking out. Once the bosses get a turn, especially like in Spider, you're going to get hit. You're going to get hit really hard, especially early on. So those are some things to think about. Perception set. If you watch any of my videos, you know how much I love me some perception set. It gives you plus 40 accuracy and plus 5% speed. That's based off their base speed. So it's really, really good set. If you're not forging it and not doing faction wars, you really need to start doing that. So one of the things I was going to talk about is the tools that you can use to auto farm if you're not using or if you're not paying for the good old raid card here, right? So raid card gives you all these good things, plus it gives you 70 extra multi-battle attempts. So instead of 30, you get 100, which is all fine and well. So my son hasn't played in a while, and I don't know, we came back into his account the other day and I saw he had 12,000 energy somehow. I don't know how he got it. He didn't spend any money. I didn't put any money in the account. But he hadn't played for months, and we come back in and here you go. There's a 12,000 energy for him to use. So how can we use that energy, right? Because who wants to sit there and play this hit replay all day? No one has that time. He's got school, I got work to do, that kind of deal. So how do you do it? Well, let's go to dungeons. We're farming for gear. We need that gear. We need better gear so we can get to these later stages and do these dungeons here. So I'm just gonna pick something real quick, guys. We're gonna do this, and so he's got 29 multi-battles, so he hadn't even used his multi-battles for the day. But let's say he did. Well, how do we fix this right here? So you go to BlueStacks, and this is what we're playing on, BlueStacks. So the quality is really good. It's a really awesome tool. But there's two really good features about it, which I can show you. So first thing is the macros. So you can either record your own macro or get a new macro. I like this one from X-Ray, AFK Grinder for silver. You can kind of set it how you want it. You can run it for however long you want it. Depending on how fast you can farm the dungeon or whatever area you're looking for, you put your time there. You can also, tell it to restart after a certain amount of time. You can go infinitely until you stop it, that kind of deal. So that's what's good about it. And I'll show you how it works right now. So I'm going to pause the video and then I'm going to come back in with the macro and show you how it works once we start this battle. Or once this battle's finished. So we're going to go ahead and do this battle real quick and I'll be right back at you. Okay guys, so we're back in the boss fight here with the dragon. This is a standard run. They're not using any tools or anything like that. This is just what they do. Um, but yeah, thanks to Duchess, we're keeping everybody alive. Thanks to Jared, we're keeping everybody alive, and we're allowing our damage dealers to do damage. So that was a good run. So what does this macro do for us? What does it do? How does it help us farm? Well, if you click on it and it's the open macro tool, here it is. Now, like I said, you set it for however long you think you can, how fast you can run it for, or however long you want to wait until your next energy comes in. I believe they come in every 42 minutes or 40 minutes, something like that. Um, so if you do that, you can say interval between 40 minutes and just run for 8 hours. Well, you're going to get, runs as you're going through, even without like refreshing your energy. You're buying new energy with gems, that kind of deal like that. Your energy refreshes. This starts off. You're good to go. So how do you do it? Well, you hit it and then you hit play, and it'll take a delay and then it'll hit replay for you. You don't have to click anything, and it's just going to cycle through this over and over again while that macro is running. At the top of the screen here, you can see where it's running, right, and it's telling you it's running. So it's really good for auto farming dungeons. It's really good for auto leveling up people when you're out of multi battles. Get blue stacks. There's plenty of people you can support, a la Hell Hades. That's where I learned it from. That kind of deal. They have links on their own sites. I'm not sponsored by BlueStacks. This is just me liking the tool, liking it, what it brings, that kind of deal. It's a great tool to auto farm, stuff like that. So I'm gonna pause this video. I want to get through the boss fight here. Then I'm gonna show you one other great tool. One other great thing I like about this tool, besides the whole macro thing, and hitting replay, that kind of deal. So I'll be back at you once this is over. Okay guys, so we got that done. So the other tool I wanted to show you real quick is how to upgrade your gear, right? So let's go through this gear real quick. We got a flat attack, and you're like, oh man, but crit rate and HP, not really great. Again, if you're early on and you need that kind of stuff, go ahead and put it on. I wouldn't take it past 12. Don't 16 it out. You're going to replace it really quick. So we're going to sell that piece. And yeah, that's not good substats for anything. So we're going to sell that piece as well and get moving on with our day. So with BlueStacks, you go to upgrade, and just to upgrade one, you see how it's like, okay, wait, delay, and then you wait again. Hey, we got one, right? So with BlueStacks, you can say upgrade, go to this little eco mode, turn it on, and it's gonna blaze through all your silver until it gets success. And when you do, you turn it off, and look at that. See how fast that went without having to worry about, or sitting there waiting for it to upgrade. So that was kind of a quick example. It happened faster than I thought it would. So let's go ahead and let's try some Duchess here, and I'll show you a bit better example. So I don't know if we're gonna get to 16, but we'll get to what we get to. We're gonna eco mode, and we're gonna let it run. We got a success, and look at that silver just fly out. There's another one, success. Come on, 16, can you do it? Can we get a 16 on the chess piece? And no, but we got to 15. So that's eco mode. That's another great tool within BlueStacks that's there. It also has shortcut keys for when you're fighting battles. Instead of having to click here, click there, you can use your keyboard, that kind of deal. So BlueStacks is a really great tool. It's really helpful for early game account to either upgrade or farm without having to be there all day playing. You can put it on your computer, set it and forget it. Come back at the end of your day or when you get off of work, check it out, see what you were able to gather, and then go through and sort the gear. So all those bottom three flat stats, the top three are always going to be flat stats. You're going to have attack, HP, and defense flat always. But the bottom three, you want percentages when it comes to attack, HP, and defense. Accuracy is always a flat stat. Speed's always a flat stat. So when you're looking for a speed boot, you want to make sure that not in the speed set, but preferably in the speed set, but with the speed on the main stat, because that's going to be your most helpful stat when you're fighting arena battles and stuff like that. Um, you don't want, stuff like I pointed out earlier, like this, where yeah, it's 5 star. He got it to 12. This is what he had at the time. But as I pointed out, a level 8 defense percent gives you even more defense than this does at 12. So same stars, obviously this is epic, this is common. It doesn't matter. The main stat is what would be important there, unless this had a speed roll to it or something like that. Then obviously this would definitely be the piece to put on her. Um, but yeah, the percentages on the bottom three are way better for your champion than flat stats could ever be. So if you get flat stats and that's what you got, and that's what you got to gear when you're early on, that's fine. That's great. Use it. Use it. But don't take it to 16. Wait for that. Wait for the other piece of gear that's going to push you up even better. That's a percentage based. Again, anything in the HP percent, attack percent, defense percent, you want that on your bottom three. Accuracy and speed are flat stats, but they are really good stats. The reason being is because 90% of champions, there's very rarely that you have accuracy as a stat here. Speed is increases the green number, not this one, but anything in a set like a speed set, divine speed, perception, the percentages come off of this number here. So that's what you kind of want to focus on there. But yeah, that's been me today. I am Grumpy Old Bear. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe, and y'all have a great day.